We have this 1996 Ford Explorer in here with a 4-liter, and we had a problem with ignition, and we decided that we should service the ignition system first with plugs and wires. At 100,000 miles plus with the original spark plugs and original wires on it, that's the minimum things we needed to start on. So the first thing we ought to do is go back and look at the patterns again. Now, a lot of times when you have misfires, there's a possibility you have EGR problems with the Ford products where the EGR flows in 1 or 2 cylinders causing a misfire and doesn't flow to other cylinders. So I'm going to show you a procedure I use sometimes to narrow this down. First thing we need to do is go ahead and start the vehicle up. When we start the vehicle up, we're going to look at cylinder number 1. Now, I've got it hooked out to cylinder number 1 up here, and if you're looking at the pattern, it's one of the misfiring cylinders, and you notice it's jumping up and down. One of the things I like doing is applying a little bit of vacuum to the EGR to the point where it's missing. At that point, you can see that we have a little bit of, we're going higher firing kV, and the disturbance is there a little bit more. Going to hit stop on this one. I'm going to save this one just for my use. I'm going to do it again is just do 1, 2, 3, whatever you want to use as information, guys, and push enter. Now I want to use this as a snapshot. I'm going to push enter on that one, and we're going to go again. And you saw the difference there, and the firing kV went way high. Next cylinder, number 2. Notice my firing kV is lower on this cylinder. I'm going to again apply vacuum. You see as much difference on this cylinder as you did the other ones? Not quite, because right now it looks to me like there's not as much EGR flowing. I've got some EGR flowing, which it should right now, but it's not as bad on this particular cylinder. Again, I'm going to freeze this. Now it looks real bad. Allow the engine to stabilize back out to normal. Okay. We'll let this go. I've got a different cylinder up here, and if you notice on this cylinder, we're constantly going higher and lower on it. And if you notice, there's a lot of things going and affecting the firing of the cylinder. You can see a lot of disturbance in the process. To me, that would probably indicate the EGR is running on this system. So I'm going to apply a little bit of EGR on it. Doesn't make a whole heck of a lot of difference, does it? So in other words, it's telling me that EGR is already there on that system. Now, I'm again freezing the pattern. You can see the disturbance. Whatever is your system, guys, you can use. Again, this is a snapshot. So back to live data, and you notice we still have that disturbance in that cylinder, and again, we've got a little bit of a compression. Not a compression, we got an EGR problem, and something's going on in the cylinder. Real quick way to do it. Number 2 was not as affected as much as this cylinder when I applied the EGR to it. It's bad all the time. So it indicates I probably got an EGR system needs to be serviced, and we need to make sure the passengers aren't dumping into 1 or 2 cylinders at a time. Right now, it doesn't look too bad. We could have lean other things, but the EGR could be stuck open, causing our problem right at this moment.